Donald Trump described the impressive capabilities of the F-35 fighter jet.
How do they do in fights with the F-35? Said we do very well. You can't see it.
The F-35 stealth fighter jet is undetectable by radar. So when Trump says you can't see it, clearly he means on radar, right?
In the theater of global power, not all battles are fought on the ground. Some unfold thousands of feet above it, in the skies where presidents, prime ministers, and generals travel in machines built to project dominance. Recently, when the U sent its B-2 stealth bombers roaring over Alaska, the world took notice, but the real symbol of airborne power belongs to Moscow. Hidden behind tinted windows and plated in subtle gold is an aircraft so secretive, so impenetrable, that even Donald Trump, never one to be short on words, was left in awe. They call it the Flying Kremlin. Not just a jet, but a palace, a command center, and a fortress in the clouds. And today, we're going to uncover why this aircraft is one of the most formidable symbols of modern power. Not long ago, the skies above Alaska thundered with America's B-2 stealth bombers. A deliberate show of strength meant to remind the world who still dominates the air. Some thought the message was directed at Putin. But the real story isn't about America's fleet. It's about another aircraft, one so secretive and fortified that even Donald Trump, famous for flaunting his gold-plated private jet, was left speechless. This is no ordinary plane. Outfitted with decoys, survival systems, and high-tech defenses hidden beneath a touch of gold, it's more than transportation. It's the Flying Kremlin, Vladimir Putin's airborne fortress. A jet designed not just to carry a man, but to carry power itself. A fortress in the sky. When Trump once stood near Russia's presidential jet, he didn't crack a joke or boast about his own aircraft. He stared. Because what stood before him wasn't luxury in the sky. It was intimidation wrapped in steel. The Ilyushin Il-96-300 PU, better known as the Flying Kremlin, isn't just an airplane. It's a moving stronghold. Built during the late Soviet years, this machine was never designed for comfort. It was designed to survive and to confuse. Every time it takes off, identical copies rise alongside it. Each is fueled, manned, and airborne. Not even the pilots know which one carries the president. To anyone watching, the real Putin becomes a ghost, untouchable and uncertain. From Soviet steel to Putin's command center, the Il-96 first flew in 1988 at the twilight of the Soviet Union. Strong, durable, and long-range, it was a statement. Moscow could build a wide-body jet to rival the West. By the 1990s, it carried Boris Yeltsin. But under Putin, it transformed. Reinforced, modernized, and refitted into a command center, it became more than transport. By 2021, 5 were in service, each assembled under heavy security, each part of a deadly guessing game for anyone who might try to track him. At 55 meters long, with stealth materials in its skin and range to cross oceans, this jet isn't just about distance. It's about invisibility. And in Russia, invisibility is power. Palace above the clouds, step inside. And you don't just find comfort, you find control. Gold-trimmed walls, walnut paneling, and Russian neoclassical styling send a clear signal. This isn't a cabin, it's a throne room. There's a private office with encrypted communications, strategy rooms for mid-air meetings, a suite with a king-sized bed, a medical bay ready for emergencies, even a gym and a bar. Every element ensures the president can govern, negotiate, and survive while flying above the world. But luxury is only half the story. Beneath the gold lies survival. Filtered air systems that block toxins and biological threats. Bulkheads that seal shut like a bunker. Kitchens and supplies that allow self-sufficiency for days. This aircraft is designed to keep the Russian state alive, even if the ground below falls apart. Defenses that rewrite the rules. Most jets escape danger by speed or altitude. Putin's jet takes another approach. It neutralizes threats. It's fitted with laser-based anti-missile systems that blind incoming rockets. Radar-absorbing materials make it nearly invisible. Electronic warfare suites scramble enemy tracking and communications. And with secure satellite links, possibly even quantum-level encryption, it can oversee nuclear operations midair. Rumors even suggest the jet can survive an emergency water landing while keeping life support active. Whether true or not, the message is clear. Attacking this plane is a gamble no one can win. Flight protocols and the decoy game when Putin travels, it's not an ordinary takeoff. It's a performance. 3 or more identical jets taxi out. All of them crewed. All of them ready. Even Putin's inner circle often doesn't know which one he boards until the last second. They take off together, masked by escorts like Su-35s and MiG-31s, with ground radar and missile defenses watching their every move. Flight plans may even be falsified. From the outside, it's a shell game at 35,000 feet. One jet carries the president. But which? No one can say. Ground fortress. The Oris Senate, once the flying Kremlin lands. Power shifts from air to asphalt. Putin doesn't ride in just any limousine. He rides in the Oris Senate, a 7-ton armored beast disguised as a luxury car. With VR-10 ballistic protection, mine-resistant plating, solid-core run-flat tires, and its own sealed oxygen system, this isn't transportation. It's a rolling bunker. And just like the jet, it travels in convoys with decoys, so the real car is never certain. Legacy and symbolism. Putin's fleet of vehicles isn't just about survival. It's about narrative. From his first Soviet-era ZZ car, given by his mother, to the Volga he once drove George W. Bush in, to the rugged Lada Niva he sometimes uses, every machine tells a story of identity and power. Even gifts, like the armored Oris Senate he gave to Kim Jong-un, carry symbolic weight. In Russia, even a car can be a diplomatic weapon. The message, the flying Kremlin, is more than an aircraft. It's a strategy, a performance, and a shield. Every escort, every decoy, every sealed chamber whispers the same truth. Power must remain untouchable. Putin doesn't just fly to travel. He flies so the world never really knows where he is. Power doesn't just sit in palaces. Sometimes it flies. Hidden in the skies is an aircraft so secretive, so heavily protected, that it's less a jet and more a flying fortress. Some call it the Flying Kremlin, a machine built to shield a man, confuse enemies, and carry the weight of a superpower. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the aircraft that silenced Donald Trump and continues to haunt global intelligence agencies. The Flying Kremlin isn't just transportation. It's a message, one that says true power never travels alone and never travels in the open. Every decoy, every escort, every sealed chamber tells the same story. The man inside is not just protected, he's untouchable. But here's the real question. Is this level of secrecy a sign of strength or of fear? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories of power, technology, and mystery. Because sometimes the real battles aren't fought on the ground. They're fought in the shadows above the clouds.